Ready to be outdriven. I'm working my way to the top to doing this shit for a living. If you want that money, be double out. And if you want that trophy, take double out. And if you want to be a winner, be double out. And if you want to be a champ, take double out. Be double out. Take double out. Be double out.
What's up, everybody? We are back at the BE00TAKE00 show. I am your co-host, the one and only PJ North, along with my cohort, partner in crime, best friend, Tebow, Fluff, Tyler. What's good, baby?
I'm tired.
You're always tired.
I'm tired.
I know. You've been working hard. Welcome to the show. We got an exciting one for you. We got a lot to get to. We got a special guest, which if you've seen, it is one of my favorite people, one of my favorite pros. Erica Enders will be joining us shortly. So
Yeah, I do have to say, because I was like driving,
Yeah.
30 minutes ago, and I was trying to read your post.
Yeah.
Don't do that. But anyways, I was like, did he even say who it was? Like I was.
I like to get the element of surprise for everybody.
Yeah,
It's the
true.
element of surprise. We kicked the show off a little later today. Thank you guys all for joining in. If you're watching live on YouTube, do not forget to hit that subscribe button. That helps us out. Hit the like button. Obviously triggering the algorithm, man. Let your friends know that you're digging the show. If you like the racing podcast stuff, if you're into it, we want to know about it. Let us know in the chat that you're digging it, that you're watching. And if you don't like us, let us know in the chat so I can ban you. Otherwise, if you're listening on iTunes or Spotify, don't forget to leave us a review. Comment on Spotify as well. Let us know that you like it and share with all your friends. Tag us. I'm at VPJ North. He is at Tyler3678. We're not hard to find out there in the world. So
Do you think this is where, like, I've been getting a couple extra followers, like
Yeah.
a week, okay? Which is, I don't really pay attention, but I check them at the end of the week.
sure.
It ain't this, bro.
It's not this.
I don't think so.
Oh,
I
well,
don't know.
that's hurtful.
If it is, it's people I don't know.
Okay.
So maybe.
Fair enough. Yeah, man, we are, I don't know. It's been this is our 13th episode, lucky number 13. We're moving our way through, all the episodes. We're doing it. I feel
been a good
pretty
run.
It has been a good run. We haven't got canceled yet, so that's a good start. What have you been into, man? Anything good?
We kicked off the points at US60.
Hell
And we
yeah.
killed it. New staff, starting line staff and stuff. I lost
Yep.
some this past year, but couple of hiccups. They moved they ran 140 cars, 2 time runs in under 3 hours with a back
Dude, it
glass
was.
on the
I saw the
racetrack
sun was
and
still out when y'all took pictures,
both
so
days.
that's awesome.
Yeah, and we had a second biggest car count ever for a points race. So
Hell yeah, man. We love to hear that. US60 is the place to be. Why don't we just move? You know what? Let's just move that to the top. Do you want to move that to the top? Let's talk
Yeah,
about
that's fine.
US60. Let's talk about US60 this weekend. It is Little Bucks this weekend. I'm very excited, man. Little Bucks is happening at US60. Obviously, I was there last year. I closed out Sunday in Brian's car,
Winner.
which not super. My only one last year, so I don't want to talk about it. I don't know, man. I love the track. I think all the updates you guys are making are super. It's cool to see you don't see a lot of that happening at small facilities. So I'm super excited about that for you guys. And this will be the first big event of the year. And I'm excited. What about you? Are you excited? How many cars do you think we're going to have?
So I told somebody the other day, I want to see 200. Anything over 250 would be like awesome.
Yeah,
but
that'd be crazy. 200's all. I think 200. I think we'll easily have 200 entries.
what I wanna get
Obviously,
to.
I'm going to make Brian double enter me. I make him pay for the second entry. But if I do any good, I'm just going to tell everybody that was my entry. No, I'm excited about it. I think US60 is, like I said, it's the place to be this weekend. It's 225 for a single entry for 2.5s. Is that right? It's 225.
Billy got jokes.
Oh,
In the comment.
there. That's right. TBHRA. We're gonna get
Hell
into that too,
no.
Billy. Don't you worry. Is that what it is? 225 to enter this weekend?
Yes,
Single entry?
225, 400 to double. So you get a little bit of a discount to double.
Yeah, save $50 if you double. Obviously the shootout is Friday, which I love a good shootout, man. I like knowing how many
That's the
cars
best
are in the.
part.
I like
Hey,
knowing
I
how many
think I
cars
did-
are in the race and what
we
I gotta
were
do.
working on.
Yeah.
Yeah, I want to know exactly how many rounds it is.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
the run for the roses, they put like the whole thing over the horse,
Yes, yeah. Tell us
Yeah.
all. I want to know all
I was
about
working on a smaller one. I don't know where we were working on it last week, but like basically like the roses that they put over the horse, I made a smaller version for the driver.
That's gonna be awesome, man.
Yeah.
It's Derby week too, which we're gonna get to Derby week after this. But Yeah, dude, there's a lot of cool stuff. You guys are doing a golf cart race on Saturday night. You've got some kid stick races for like the little kid on the horse thing. It's very they're doing it. It is a big money. It's a big money, little money. It's a good feel, right? At a little racetrack. It's not you're not going to the this isn't the fling, this isn't the Twin 50s. This is something for the it's different, but it's very cool. And the track
is rednecks having a good time.
Yeah, this is like what bracket finals used to be for you, right? I think that's where you got that feeling where it's just like exciting to go to those type of things, right?
Yeah, and it's, I don't know. I feel like this is like I didn't get to go to the 5 days in the 90s, but I feel like this is closer to that, right? Like of the feeling that they talk about. Not the racing side of it as much, but like the atmosphere of it.
Yeah, the excitement, and I think there's like US60 has such a loyal group of racers there, and I really enjoyed the couple times that we went last year. I've gone a handful of times since I've known you guys, so I've made quite a few laps down US60. Here's my I think everybody's big question. Did we get the wind lights fixed at the end? I like not knowing, actually. Gave me a little sense of not having to worry about it.
That's a long way.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah. But no, we moved them down and I put new lights on. They're like awesome. Kind of like floodlights. They do work.
That's all that matters.
I don't know if they come on fast enough, but they work.
Yeah, that was my favorite part last year. I was like, I don't know if I won. I was going too fast by that.
Everybody was complaining about it. I'm like, God, like bracket racers, man, So I get in my dually and I make a run and I am smoking the tires to catch the wind light as I pass it. I went to 78 and I'm like, oh, okay, this is bad.
I was like, dude, I'm not a complainer. I was like, but I have no idea if I won or not. So exciting stuff. Yeah, man. What's the actual title of it? Little Bluegrass Little Bucks.
Damn, why you gotta ask me that question?
I'm sorry, I thought we had the flyer pulled up. I'll pull it up. While we're pulling it up, we are going to pull a raffle winner.
Bluegrass Little Bucks, yeah.
Bluegrass Little Bucks. If you shared the original post by US60, you had an opportunity to win a free weekend entry, which is super awesome. And so Tyler has got all the names here in a hat randomly picked, and we're going to draw a winner for a free weekend entry. That is the $225 value, right?
Yes. Yeah, $225 in value. I don't know if you guys have watched the ones that we do for TB. Doing it the same way. Took all the shares, randomly picked 10 of those. We'll put them in the hat over here and draw them out. So, yeah, save some time. I'm just going to call out the 10 names: Sean Smith, Kathy Whitworth, Kelsey Meese, Tyler Sizemore, Jarrett Market, Tim Klopfenstein, Jeremy Lucas, Tom Jackson, Blake Webb, Scott Carman. So those are the 10 that are going in the drawing. We'll fold them up here. Got my hat.
Yeah, you keep folding them up. It's the Bluegrass Little Bucks, May 2nd through the 4th. Friday night, 64-car shootout. Saturday, top ball. Huh?
You got the pit vehicle race?
Oh, yeah, I'm going through it. We got the pit vehicle race. It's $500 to win. There's a no-box bonus, which pays you $250 each day if you're the last remaining no-box car. And then you fall into the box side. And you cannot put the delay box in. Just so they have noted finally. No. They finally noted it on the rule book. You cannot put the delay box in because I would 100% have done that.
You're gonna show up as a cowboy. You're gonna leave as a cowboy. Okay, that's it.
$5,000 to win, $1,500 to runner up, and we got juniors, $250 to win in the juniors both days. So exciting, man! It's going down this weekend. US60 Hardensburg. Let's pick a winner.
Yeah, I'm getting close.
Oh, he's got to fold them up.
It's a little slow process.
That's my bad.
I have a poll since you mentioned the no box bonus. I got a question.
Okay.
So I think it was the first one I remember was Jake Hodge doing it where he had no box.
Yeah.
But then you could pay the extra entry fee or whatever and run for the extra. Is that better? Do you think that works better for no box or anybody really? Would you rather pay $100 to run for $2,000 and have the option to pay the $225 to run for
$5,000? So then if you win, do you pay the extra $125?
No,
if you win, you have to pay it up front.
You have to do it to start the day.
Okay.
Yeah. If you don't pay it, you win no box, get you $2,000, you're done. If you pay the full weekend.
Damn, that's an interesting take. I haven't seen that one.
Yeah, I really liked it. But the way we do it now is basically you just enter the weekend, we separate you and pay you a bonus. Yeah. I know the bonus isn't much, but it's
but the bonus is you're still racing. It's like you're on top of the person, have the chance. Right. Yeah, I think that's a good poll to take. We got some bottom bulbers in here. Zach
So
Combs.
I did finally get all my names.
Okay, Zach Combs. Before we pull this, Zach Combs, you're a bottom bulber. What say you, man? Would you rather have that opportunity to separate and pay extra up front to potentially go into the race, or would you rather just?
It would boost the no box purse.
Yeah,
is what it would do.
Yeah. Interesting.
In a way.
There.
No, it's an interesting take.
I like it. All right, here we go. We're picking a winner. Weekend entry. Let's see who it is.
I'm always scared to death. I'm going to grab 2 of these things.
It should have been me, but I'm on the podcast, so I did not get luckily picked. Bunch of bullshit. Let's see. Man, he really put the names in there. Who is it? Let's see.
Plop.
Tim Klopfenstein. Tim Klopfenstein, you've got a free weekend entry via the US60 team. Shout out to them. Thank you guys all for those who shared. I think we had there was a lot of shares. Over like 115 shares, so pretty good. And you got a free entry out of it, and it took you nothing except to write that down, just to share it on your Facebook. So Tim Klopfenstein, you got a free entry. Yeah.
We do it for all the TV races and stuff, but it blows my mind that, like, why didn't we think of that 10 years ago type of thing? Like, of all the things that bracket racing has come up with.
Yeah, that's like the best one.
It's
pretty good. That's
literally the best one.
Yeah, man, US60. All right, we got a little bit to talk about NHRA. Obviously, the 4 wide at ZMAX, and the Division 3 opener. I'll get into a little bit of the Division 3 afterwards here, but 4 wide at ZMAX. I do know that they had some weather, and the sportsmen got pushed back. I didn't even see the winners, to be honest with you, of the sportsman stuff yet. I haven't got that far, and I apologize for the notes. But what do you think? My hook, we're not going to talk about all the results and everything, but what do you think if they just stop bringing sportsmen to the nationals at this point? They're obviously treated like second-rate citizens.
What? No, they got to have them. That's why they. I mean, they got to have them.
I know they got to have them. I'm
just
saying,
for filler,
though,
not for any other reason.
Yeah, I'm saying. Let's just cut it down. Stop counting world title. Give them a 32-car shootout in each class because, like, they're treated terribly anyway. And I know we're not the show. But at this point, it's almost comical where they're like, hey, we know it rained. We know you guys got here early. We know that you showed up.
Oh, yeah, that's what they're – but that's a TV thing,
you're going to the
right?
back of the lot. Whatever, man. Their fucking TV coverage is TV delayed. It's tape delayed. What the fuck does it matter?
Yes. Some of it's live, right?
There's 4 episodes a year that are live. The rest of it's tape delayed.
Bad. Was it yesterday? Was it Sunday?
No, not yesterday either, because Talladega was on. That's my point, though, is I'm just kind of like, I'm a little to the point where I also saw maybe the track wasn't as good. I saw Long and Haiti mention something, and there was a few.
Oh, no, they bitching about the timing system, and it was. I've seen TSI systems better than what they had down there this week.
That's concerning to me. No weather issues, just stage beam. So it didn't rain at all? Oh, I thought Steve Foley mentioned in a Facebook post that it rained some. That's why I was confused.
Off and on.
Okay. Yeah. But it was stage beam in lane 2 kept malfunctioning. They got a whole ass other track in lanes 3 and 4. Why didn't they just move them over?
So I don't remember this. It took them like 2 days to do it, but they did, I guess.
Okay.
And then I'm watching the feed. I got home early I had it on the tower doing points on Sunday. Well, I never thought I would see it. They had Jim Perry out there like staging in lane 2 to like test it and stuff.
Yeah.
Would you ever think NHRA would like have somebody bring their car up and do that?
Hail to the no. They'd been like, that's racing, bud. Which here's the thing, man. I'm not knocking anybody's decision. I'm not knocking Cody Savage or any of those guys in D2. I'm not saying anything about that. All I'm saying is it gets to the point where it's comical sometimes where you're just like, damn, they out here just really do not. And it's not them. I know that it's the higher brass. They just don't care. I get it. But, like, what are we doing, my guy? What
Have
are
I ever
we
told
doing?
you my Glenn Cromwell story?
No.
When I met him
no.
the first time?
I'm sure he had a lot to say.
Yeah, I was 20 years old.
Oh,
I was
God.
with Bo at SEMA, and I was out there with him for like a week and a half, and I just thought I was on top of the world. And
Sure.
It was me, Bo, and Jimmy DeFrank, and we're walking up, and they shake this guy's hand, and they're talking to him, and I don't know who he is. And he looks at me, and he says, what's your name? And I, Tyler Bohannon, nice to meet you. And they got to talk about something in NHRA, and I gave my opinion about the president of the NHRA. And that's he reached his hand back over and goes, Tyler, Glenn Cromwell, president of NHRA, nice to meet you. I was like, oh, God.
That's incredible. That sounds like some shit I would do. just
I
be
did
like,
too.
just
I
be like,
felt
hey
like,
man, you ought to see this mother they got in the tower. This fucking guy, he doesn't know what's
yeah,
going on.
God, I felt like I was an inch tall.
Yeah, man, it's a tough. I don't know. Like I said, I think I would say the same thing to him though. I don't think that I would have any. I don't have any disdain towards it. I love national events. Like I said, I love running national events. I just think that sometimes like there has to be a little bit of a give and take.
I'm all in for the marathons.
For the sportsman racers.
Run us on Tuesday. I don't care. I'll outlast them.
Well, I can just send them on Monday.
Yeah.
And I think that's the thing is like it's almost like a war of attrition as a racer. You're just like, well, I don't have a job, so I can stay here till Tuesday. Let's send them.
Let's go.
I mean?
I bet I can outlast.
The crazy thing is that they made a conscious decision at Gainesville, correctly made a conscious decision, and then followed it up with just some really poor decisions at Charlotte about this. I'm like, I don't understand it.
Did you
seems
see
odd.
Huntsberry and Barry Parker ran heads up 3 times third round?
Because of the timing system? Damn.
So,
Imagine
like,
having the faster car and just be like, hey man, I'm out of dry ice. I can't
Yeah.
run this third heads
Well, that's
up.
the thing. Like, if they actually, because they had the time at this point,
Yeah,
right? You do it 3
sure,
times. It was
sure.
like 2 different days, you know. But anyways, like, if you're running class at Indy and you got everything you can have,
Sure.
it costs you about $125, $150 a run.
Yeah, that's what if you're, especially if it's
It
like a
only
close heads up. If you're
pays-
both 90 something under, which
Yeah.
they might have been because this is third round. It's not like it's
Yeah.
first round.
Troy's
where one
car's
guy's,
down a little bit, but it's fast.
Sure.
I mean, Barry Parker shit though, that's
Yeah.
a rocket ship. He
Sure.
got me at Indy MB with the LS1.
Oh, this is
but
in B stock automatic.
they were in A, but yeah,
Okay,
he
same
ran me
difference,
in B.
whatever. Yeah.
Cool dude, by the way. I met him at Belrose.
Shout out to Barry.
Yeah. But you know, like they did it 3 times. I don't understand.
Like I said, man, I think it's a weird deal. I do want to highlight though from the 4 wides, Sean Langdon winning the 1,000th top fuel win. I thought that was really cool, man. They've noted that about the different numbers from the hundreds and stuff, which I thought was really cool. So shout out to Sean Langdon.
I didn't realize 2 bracket racers won the 750th and the 1,000th.
Who won
Did you
the
see who won the
750?
750?
No, I missed that.
Spencer Massey.
Oh, I did see. Okay, I thought. Yeah.
I didn't. It kind of surprised me.
Yeah.
I don't know why, but
That's very cool. Very cool stat to get. They had a special trophy for it too, which I thought was awesome. Loans did a whole thing on that. So it's really cool. I did enjoy that part of it. Obviously, the 4 wide format is.
dumb.
I actually don't hate it to
Hate
a
it.
certain extent because it's like they only do it twice a year, so it's like all right, cool, whatever. However, I do think it allows more upsets, which is why I enjoy it. So,
So answer me a question. Are they back-to-back races? I don't know. I don't race
the
anymore.
4
so-
wides.
Yeah.
Yeah, back from
Yeah, see?
Vegas to yeah, they shouldn't do that.
Why are we
It
going
should
back
be the
to back?
sharp. Yeah, it should. The problem is,
I mean, I know they're opposite ends of the country, but
yeah. I agree with that. Well, that's the Bruton Smith way, man. That's the IMG or whatever that the company is that the.
you know what?
ISM.
By the way, I was looking at NASCAR ticket prices today. They ain't worried about that drag strip, okay?
Nah, dog. Oh, at Bristol, you mean, or at Charlotte? Either of 'em.
Bristol.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Either,
They're
it
not.
don't
Worried.
matter.
Yeah. Bristol, they got it figured out, buddy. They know how to make that money, which we love. That for them. Oh, the fall race in Charlotte's 4 wide this year. Very interesting.
Oh yeah, they're doing 3 of them. That's like adding road courses to the NASCAR Cup Series.
And the NASCAR, I get why they do it to a certain extent, but I'd rather them just
Yeah.
move it like they are. Like they have Mexico City now, so they should just get rid of COTA and just move it to Mexico City with the
I've
road,
never
road
watched a
course
race
thing.
at COTA because I just can't watch a race at a track named COTA.
It's interesting. It's a different strokes for different folks there. All right, NHRA, go ahead.
I have one more thing about Charlotte. Well, not really Charlotte in general,
general?
but yeah, in general. Al Tucci
Yeah.
announcing Pro Mod, that's like the best thing ever.
I will say that look, man, we gonna have a whole episode of talking about like why NHRA. I understand that Pro Mod gets their own show, but it's almost lesser than. We got to talk. Y'all got. I don't know, man. Well, that's a song for another time, right? Because I know I'd love to have Wes Buck on here and discuss that. So Wes, if you ever hear this, let's have a chat. All right, NHRA Division 3 opener. We got rained out on Friday. They made a great decision. They moved the whole schedule from Friday to Saturday, moved Saturday to Sunday. Thought it was brilliant. Only thing I thought was silly was they did super stock shootouts based on
Reaction time.
under the index.
Really?
Which is the only reason I say it's silly. Again, I understand it doesn't benefit me, but I'm also not going to give you $20 because I'm not going fast. So there's no
fair.
chance to get all 67 of us. What I think they should do for stock and super stock.
At Bowling Green, they did reaction time.
I heard that, and this time they've done it under. What I think they should do, I think personally would be best, is take your money, $20, and on your second qualifier, we just do a dash for cash. There's no extra race because the modified cars, you're never going to get them. So you're going to miss out on a few of those. Some of those Copo guys, they're not going to beat up on their stuff. They're not there to beat up on their stuff, right? But there's a better chance of getting it $20. Hey, and then your second run, you're going to put a dial in on it. Why not? I think that's like an easier way to get all the, because the main thing is like half the money goes to charity, right? It's for draw. So like
you're saying make it package.
Yeah, make it not even pack, just dial in for dollars is what we used to call it, right? Dash for cash, whatever. Something that we can all
round gamblers race at Hardensburg, what we called it.
Oh yeah, okay, that's kind of fun.
Yeah.
That's a cool way to do it. Does the tree come down separate?
No, that's always confused me, right? Like I felt it should.
Yeah. I thought if you're going to do it a 1-round gambler race, then it gives you an actual practice run. Yeah. That's kind of fun. I like that idea. So interesting take. I think there's a bunch of different ways to do it. But they did a great job. The track, I know Jeb was working his ass off. There was a few unfortunate things. I do want to give our thoughts out to Drew Whalen. I hope he's all right. I haven't heard anything. It's a pretty scary wreck first round on Sunday. I know he seemed okay. I didn't know the circumstances. David Billingsley took a bad wreck in comp, so our thoughts are with him too. And there was also a super gas racer who I apologize I didn't get their name, but so there was a few things, but otherwise the track was really good. The staff was great. The wind blew both ways, 2 separate days, 30 miles an hour.
You texted me about wind, and I'm like, you told me what you thought, and I'm like, well, he must not be factoring wind. You're like, yeah, it's turned around. I'm like, it was a 20-mile-an-hour headwind yesterday and a 20-mile-an-hour tailwind today. You're going 1170s. Like, we set the records out here.
It was a pretty wild. It was pretty wild, to say the very least. I think for me, it was like, obviously I am struggling right now in super stock. I have, but not even just for me. I think a lot of people, I know, I think it was a really good race, but it was interesting first round for every class. Stock, a lot of people were under, and I think some people covered it. Then in Super Street, you saw people like way overcompensate and go like 11:05. But it's like that's the fun thing about class racing.
Yes, and that's me and Ricky Decker have talked about it, like the live by the sword, die by the sword. You know, we got our cheat sheets with 15 guys on it. You know, you're looking, you try to go off the scoreboards and you watch Super Street and it's 97 to 82, and you know, and then you can get spun out. Yeah. All the way. Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's just I don't know. It was interesting.
Or actually, you know what? So first off, I'm going to give you an example because this is
relevant.
At US60 running cars.
Yeah.
And I have 3 friends at Indy racing in Labuse. So I just got a logbook out and started writing my stuff down. But for stock, round 1.
Yeah. Was this for Decker?
Yeah, I've got like 8 cars on here, okay? 1200's fast, 300's slow, 500's fast, 800's fast, 600's fast, 900's fast.
The first one I would have asked, been like, all right, so what'd that guy do who went 5 slow? Was that me?
7th out fast. Okay. So I'm looking at this shit, and I'm like, what am I going to do? So I just added them all up, and I just took the average.
You have to, like almost.
He was he missed it by 2,000. I was like, oh, okay, maybe that's something.
Yeah, pretty close. Yeah. Decker, what did he do? Second round? Turned it red?
Fourth round.
Oh, fourth round. Okay, I must have.
Good race. I mean, you know, I don't know. Anytime I'm 30 and dead on in stock, I consider that an A+ job. So
yeah, it's like you hope to be better. Like that's what you're trying to beat, right? You're trying to beat the law of averages with that.
Stab it and be 10 or 15. Yeah. Stock. I don't know. I never had a stalker that reacted good enough where I could even set any tighter than that.
Sure. Who won stock?
Houston.
Yeah, that's right. I texted him too. What an idiot. Yeah, so Houston Rakes got the first win in stock. Jeremy Duncan won super stock.
Yeah.
Who closed him up in super comp? Was it pros? Nathan Pro's won. Did he win in
He
Super
won the
Gas?
spring. I think he won the spring race.
No, he won something this weekend. I forgot.
Did he?
Yeah.
I don't know. I didn't see all the classes.
Yeah. I think Allison Pro's runnered up one of them too. I just try to see like people that I see on Instagram and Facebook, obviously. But it was good. Like I said, all in all. Shout out to Aaron Allison, who had a tough weekend. He grenaded his brand new J Dragster, or is it B Dragster? What was he blow it up?
Jay.
Yeah, Jay. He texted us this morning. So that will not be our combo of the week. Will not be Aaron Allison's J Dragster automatic.
It was blowed up when he bought it.
Oh, well, now it's blowed up again. Tough break.
Actually, that's the second. Poor guy.
Yeah, he'll get it figured out. Yeah, I don't know. All in all, I thought it was really good. Like I said, we'll show a brief little clip here of my weekend on my new racing video here. Just a clip.
Kind of restart today and see what we can do. So, division race number 1 here in Division 3. So, we'll see how it goes.
All right, it's round number 1. We got Logan. He's out 10 flat. I'm dialed 1164, so I dialed down 4 from yesterday. Yeah, man, here goes nothing.
Later.
Well, we tried. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button on my PJ North Racing channel, my new video. You can watch the whole thing out now. We got to see, I will say one thing. We never get a day off at wherever we're going. It's always like go, 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 right, when you're at the track. And we got to Indy, and obviously they canceled, so we had the whole day off. We went to every hobby shop, like card video game shop, within like a 25-mile radius. And then we get back to the hotel, and I find out there's a wrestling convention in town. I was furious I didn't know about it ahead of time, or we 100% would have been there in doing that. So, yeah, it was a good time. Indy was fun. Yeah, Wes, that's kind of what I thought. I had dropped him, so he stayed behind. You'll see in the video, I did a good job. I only took 11th out. I did a good job. I just did not do a good job at the beginning of the race. I was 30 up front, so no dice. But yeah, what do you do? All right, last we got two other headlines here before we get to our interview. First, news about the IHRA has come out.
Shambles.
None of it is good. It's all bad. And I will tell you, anybody who's like shitting on it, cool. I appreciate you guys can say, I told you so, whatever. But I will tell you this. It is bad for the sport.
It is.
Without it,
I don't know.
It's bad for the sport. It's not over. I'm not saying it's over yet. I'm just saying it's not. It's not. Oh, he's got his rally cap on. He's putting the
put your rally caps on, okay? We coming.
Yeah, it's a. I don't know, man. It's a tough. It's a tough deal. I don't know what to think of it. But Allen's supposedly gone. Rich is gone. Bird's gone. Like, I don't know where you go from here. But to buy 8 racetracks and not have anybody to run them, my guy. Look, dude, I'm just telling you.
Oh, he did keep the staff on the racetrack.
Yeah, but I meant like to do the IHRA stuff. Sorry, I meant like the IHRA stuff. But Yeah, dude, it was super annoying.
I got a couple ideas. I can maybe send him some phone numbers.
Oh, yeah, there you go. Yeah, Tyler Bohannon and Billy.
Hell
and
no. If Billy Huff does it, I'll do it with Billy Huff. Chris, if you're listening, if Billy Huff takes over, I'll go with you.
Oh shit, that's good stuff. I love that. It is. Yeah, I don't know what to think about it. Like I said, we don't know. No news is confirmed. But Bobby Bennett wrote an op-ed piece today. For those of you who know about journalism, it's an op-ed piece.
I don't know what that is.
Just his thoughts and feelings on the whole thing,
Cool.
kind of from a journalistic perspective based on the news. But I don't know. I'm not going to get too in for it because, like I said, I don't know any details. But I would love to chat with that'll be a good ESPN 30 for 30, but it'll be a PJ North production 30 for 30 about the 2 months that Alan Reinhart worked for the I brand or whatever he used to call it whenever he did, when he would say it over on the I side of things.
What was it? He's the only person to get fired from every association in drag racing in like the same 3 months.
Hey, that's pretty good.
But he didn't get fired.
I think he left this one.
But it was funny anyways.
So if anybody knows Alan, shoot him a text, man. Tell him PJ North wants to talk, and tell him it's not Jim Fouts. Tell him if he calls me Jim Fouts, he's getting
Jimmy.
he's getting thrown off of this call too. He'll be eliminated. Be the only guy to get let go on a podcast.
Yeah.
That's good stuff. Yeah, man. All right, last thing, Derby pick. Do you got a Derby pick for this week?
Actually, I looked at it. The 17th shoot or whatever they call it down there. I know that.
Okay.
Yeah, it's never won, but it is a pretty good horse.
Okay. And I know that your boss has a horse in this thing too? Your
No,
boss?
He got some horses though.
Oh, I thought supposedly there was like a horse involved and father-in-law or something. I don't know.
Hold on. So Shelby's decided that that's what she's going to do now.
Is she going to train
Did you
horses?
see the Netflix show? No, did you see the Netflix show?
I haven't seen the show, but I saw the thing on it.
Well, so that's going to be her.
Okay. Well, good for her.
Mm-hmm.
Also, Breckmeyer. No, man. Celsius, dog. I'm basically like a slightly worse version of Corey LaJoie. Like, Corey LaJoie's not a very good racer, right? Everybody knows that. He's kind of not very good at NASCAR. I'm like a slightly worse version of Corey LaJoie, if you can imagine. I've got a podcast that's not really successful, but I enjoy it. I'm not really good at racing, but I also enjoy it. You know what I mean?
I know exactly what you mean.
I'm a slightly worse version of Corey LaJoie. So, all right, we're doing it. Last thing, combo of the week. Kicked it off. You got anything fun this week?
Hold on, I do actually.
Shout out to Andrew Hill, by the way. I never got to see him at Indy, and he didn't save me a spot. But my Superstock Z automatic was there. Thank you very much. Just for heads up, Andrew, for next race.
I don't think we haven't talked about the nostalgia dragsters yet, right?
No.
A, B, nostalgia dragster.
No, is
I don't
that
know
what is that what Bourgeois had back in the day?
Bourgeois,
Yeah.
yes, still does.
Okay.
Like the Neyland Parks guys that still build cars. Yeah, that's what they ran. Brian Olson ran one of them.
Yeah. What's a good
They're like
motor? What's a good motor that goes in
injected.
those?
I don't even know what the hell they are. Okay,
Okay.
They're mechanically injected though, and they're frontage and dragsters.
Mechanically injected.
Dean
They over here just
Carter.
making up shit sometimes.
Yeah, it's like got stacks on some of them.
Crossfire injected.
All kinds of weird
Nostalgia dragster.
Zoomies. I mean, some weird shit.
I love it. Oh, that's good stuff. Well, all right. So nostalgia dragsters, the combo of the week. If
Yeah.
you've got one, let us know,
Somebody
man.
probably motor is. I
Yeah,
know.
I'd love to know about the motor. All right. Well, this is what everybody came to. We're gonna have an interview today. One of my honestly favorite people in drag racing. Her and her sister and her family have been super great to me over the years. Super supportive of my career, and I've also been a huge fan. Obviously, since we were kids, everybody knows the whole story. But some call her Double E, I call her Double O. Erica Enders, what's up?
Hey, how are y'all?
Man, we are so great to have you on the show. Thanks for joining us. We're excited because we get to chat a little bit about your career and about you. Tell everybody what you were doing today.
We suck so bad, obviously, if anyone's paid attention to Pro Stock this year.
Self-deprecation is the way to the top, by the way. I'm a professional self-deprecator, so I love this already.
It sucks to suck, right? But no, we left Charlotte. They weren't having a test on Monday, so we went to Darlington, and we've been in Darlington the last couple days, and got on the plane and
Hopped on
flew
the
back to
PJ.
Oklahoma. Huh?
Hopped on the PJ and took her back to
PJ, thank
Oklahoma.
God for the PJ.
God, man, it's tough. Tough
So-
being successful. How did testing go today?
Today was a lot better. Yesterday I was ready to smash all our crap and drive my car off the end of the track, but
Sometimes you might have to do that and then just tell Richard, I don't know, the throttle hung. It doesn't show that on the race pack. Well, you know, we'll see.
listen,
Yeah,
we've been
wide
trying so much crazy crap. We had a fuel change mandated by NHRA this year. We went
Yeah.
from Sunoco SR18 to VPC 25, and I'm not totally sure that's 100% of our problem, but it seems to be. So we've been trying some manifold stuff and whatnot, and we were in Vegas a couple weeks ago when I didn't qualify, and I walk in the trailer and they've got some Gorilla Glue out, and I'm like, what in the hell are you guys doing? Richard says, listen, if it catches on fire, make sure you get out and let it burn. And I'm like, okay,
Hey,
this is
hey, good shot. You
comforting,
didn't,
but-
if you're part of Haggerty or Larice Motorsports Insurance, you did not hear that here. But
Wasn't it when they made you switch to Sunoco? I don't remember what year it was, but that's funny now that because that is a problem, but nobody really wanted to go to Sunoco when they did that either. And now
No, it's kind of like diesel fuel. It's a heavier, slower burning fuel, and we had to change all kinds of stuff to get it to run. And that was the last year of carburetors before we switched to electronic fuel injection. So we haven't run VP with EFI yet. So it's it's been a little bit of a challenge, and I'm missing 2 key players on my team. Mark Ingersoll had a double lung transplant last fall, and
he's one
Jake
tough son of a bitch, by the way.
He's tough. He is so tough. And Jake Hairston, my lead engine builder and EFI tuner, is going through some heavy duty chemotherapy. So there's a lot of issues going on, but we're not shy to work hard and try to figure out the problem. So
I will say that this has got to be the first time for me to really think like drag racing is a team sport. Obviously, I love my friends and hanging out with them and us at the racetrack, but like
they're gonna beat your ass every time you stage up next to them.
I'm not thinking of a team component ever, really. You know what I mean?
That's why we got the dream team, and I can't go this year. I'm upset about it.
But I feel like this is like that. She's like talking about the team. It's a team effort to make. And like I always tell people, like the reason most of these people we race with bracket race is like they're not good team players. They're just not. They can't play a team sport because they're not good team players. And you guys have a lot of good team players. Obviously, we're going to get into all the stuff that's going on this year. Let's take it way back, though. I want to know what the first Erica Enders race car was.
probably be my little pink junior dragster back in 1992.
The Jagster, probably the black and pink one. I saw it on YouTube today, so I want to make sure that's the right one.
Yeah, it's in the NHRA museum at Pomona, and I drove it. And then once my sister turned 8, she drove it for a little bit, and we both spent 9 years in the junior drag racing league before we moved on to sportsman racing and whatever followed that. So yeah, it's been racing my whole life, and that was my first car.
Do you remember your first win?
In what?
In juniors.
Yeah, I do. It was at Houston. It was the first race we went to. And
it's just like, it doesn't matter. There's 2 of us here. Fuck y'all, I'm in. It's you and Luke Bugacki. That's it. You guys are the one hanging out there.
Yeah, we were, it was way back at the very beginning. It was the first race that I went to after I learned how to drive the thing in John Harden's parking lot down in Houston. So
hell yeah.
It was actually an all-girl final, and we came out with the trophy. So
that's pretty cool. See, I think we talk about that a lot. Me and Tyler's first, like, it's always crazy to think about. I remember my first win. I don't remember all of them, but I definitely remember the first one.
Don't remember the first.
Yeah, wow, you've had so many.
I struggle with that one. No.
All right, go ahead. You can ask your question. I'm sorry.
So I have 2 sisters. Okay, and my dad, at times when we raced together, I mean, he would have me by the collar against a trailer. But with my 2 sisters, it's just like sunshine and rainbows all the time. Like, I don't know why that is, but I wondered, like, what was that like, I guess, with you both
you
racing
growing up,
Yeah.
My dad, like, I don't ever recall getting a butt whooping or anything from him. He just had to look at me. Now Courtney, she got her ass tore up, but you know Courtney well enough to know that she probably deserved it a couple times.
I did. I know I did.
Yeah,
I got chased
Courtney's
around the
here
trailer
too.
all
So
the time.
Courtney, if you want to tell us a story when you got your ass whooped, deservedly, let us know.
I used to say, "She's sorry, she didn't mean it," and she would say, "No, I'm not."
Yeah.
So no, it was definitely fun growing up. But Dad never he was tough on us, and he made us tough. But he was also like the best. He still is the best dad ever.
Shout out to Greg.
Yeah.
I agree. See, I think Tyler goes. I didn't go through that because my brother and sister, they did race, but they didn't go through juniors, and they weren't like super serious about it.
You're the youngest too, right?
I am the baby, yeah,
Okay,
by
yeah.
8 years. So,
Well, yeah, you ain't never going to worry about you.
I ain't worried about nothing.
Yeah. I
no,
deserved everything that came to me from my father, but it was like every time I go race with my sisters, we either do really well or they cry, and it's just
Yeah, man, but it's
can't.
good to have the I think the family dynamic is like the fun part. I mean, I love having my
I
parents.
do enjoy it.
I
I
do
do.
miss that now a lot
Mhm.
too. Do your parents still come? I mean, obviously your dad, your family was big when you were at Houston. I mean, that's like your guys' home national. Obviously, that's moved now, but is it still a thing? Like the family, obviously you and Courtney, but like, does your mom and dad still make it to a lot of the races?
So my dad traveled full time with me for a lot of years during pro stock, and he's kind of over it. His business life, he traveled. He had offices in a handful of countries, so he was always out of town. And he's like, I'm just sick of traveling. So he comes to the important ones, and then my mom will show up in Houston's no more, but Dallas and maybe Phoenix and some races like that. But every once in a while they'll come out. But Courtney's with me every week.
Yeah, I mean, thankfully Courtney's there every week to keep shit in line.
Yes.
Speaking, I guess, obviously in the junior rank still, how did obviously I'm sure you've answered this question many times, but for me, as a kid, I knew racers who joined junior drag racing because of Ride on Track, obviously. How has that impacted your life? Obviously, like at that point, did you think it was going to be transcendent of time, and how has it impacted your career even to this day? Does it still impact it?
Yeah, it definitely does. I mean, I still get to hear stories at the ropes about how kids started junior drag racing because of the movie. Their family had never even been to a drag race before, and things from like a little girl saying Santa Claus brought me a junior dragster this year to what I just mentioned. But it definitely changed it a little bit, and kind of introduced our sport and my sister and I to a non-drag racing fan. And I wish it would have happened 20 years later. We could have really hit the bank with it, but it was definitely a cool experience. We filmed it my senior year of high school, and it was released just shy of a year later in 2003. So it's I'm kind of dating myself a little, but it's been out for 20 plus years, and it still plays on the Disney Channel. And yeah, it was definitely a fun experience. Courtney and I were on set the whole time. We
That's
served
cool.
as technical advisors, and we did all of the.
Can you imagine a technical advisor? Courtney's just in there like, hey, Bree, you're not doing worth a shit. Hey, you got to let go a little sooner. We saw you leave on a green light, you asshole. Courtney's giving it a kick and behind the tire like, hey, it's time to go. I would love that. I would love that. I think is it crazier to think about like that, or like still knowing now that Brie Larson's now a superhero in TV, like in movies? Like, I think that's the craziest thing. You're like, hey, your movie career has started at this thing to now you're in these crazier things. I think like that's like cool, especially with all like the people coming back to NHRA. We see a lot of like famous, quote unquote famous people. They're bringing more famous people back. Do you guys still talk to her? Is that still a thing? Interest in your career, or do you guys keep up?
Yeah, Court keeps in touch with Bree, and Beverly and I touch base a few times a year. I
cool.
always invite her and her kids out to Pomona. They live in Southern California, so yeah, we keep in touch with them. But they
cool.
they obviously didn't know a whole lot about drag racing.
Well, they don't really need to. I don't think the people that race with us know a lot about drag racing either. So
Well,
that's not
I
really
had
Good point.
the group of kids I had yesterday for that field trip, PJ. They were fifth graders at 10 and 11.
Yeah,
I had 75 of them.
incredible.
Listen, I thought I was prepared to get in a junior dragster at 7 years old. These kids scare me.
Hey, man, at 8 years old, I was reeling around a like a go-kart, but I didn't get into my
I guess
junior
that's the
till I was
difference.
10. But like, I was obviously in a go-kart. But like, we talk about this all the time about Brooks, right? Like, Brooks, we think is like ready. I'm like, he knows this stuff. I have a nephew. My nephew's turning 7, and I keep harassing my sister. I'm like, just buy him a junior. He can stay here with me. I'll help him run it. Like, I don't know, but then I'm like, Tim, I don't know if I can trust myself to help this kid, because I'm gonna be like, hey man, I need you to relax. All right, you're a little out of control. But then, you know, we run the junior programs at the TB stuff, and I help with that.
It's made PJ a better person.
It has made me a lot better person because it's trying, right? But I think my point to all this is, like, junior drag racing obviously gave you a lot, I believe, and it gave me a ton, and it gave Tyler a ton too. Obviously Tyler was breaking the rules and in a big car at like 12 years old, but
14.
we'll talk about that. But I do think, like I said, do you still see it as, do you think that it's grown in a positive way? Like, how often, I mean, do you, obviously you meet junior dragster kids and stuff, but like, do you think that it's grown in like a really great way within NHRA, or do you think like, oh, maybe this is a little, these kids are a little, I don't know.
I think the kids, it's the parents.
Fair. Okay. What
Yeah,
about?
that's a big problem. But no, I definitely think it has. I get to meet the junior dragster kids at all the national events. They have like a junior dragster set up there. And if there's time, they get to make some exhibition runs, which is really exciting for them. And they'll always come over and ask Courtney and I to stage them. And I definitely think it provides like a really great platform to learn the fundamentals of the sport and winning and losing with grace. And but on the other side of it, yeah, Tyler hit the nail on the head with the parents. There's some roughnecks out there.
Did your dad race? Is that how you got?
My dad did.
Okay, so that's how y'all got into it too. Okay, because we talk about that a lot too. Like, man, I don't think any of these parents raced, and I'm like, what is like? I think maybe we need to get them in a junior, show them what an ass whooping looks like, and maybe that's maybe what we need to do. We need to have more parents in the junior so I can show them what's up. You know,
I've talked to my dad about that because, like, my dad's quiet, right? But he's like, I mean, he threw a set of headphones like this on the starting line and blew them to pieces for a junior dragster. Okay, it's just, we talked about it a couple weeks ago when we were actually talking about Erica, with just being passionate about it. You get, like, these parents care that much about their kids, I guess, and I think it comes out. But some of them are just assholes. But you know, there is a small portion of them that I think that just kind of comes out.
Well, you look how many junior drag racers or sportsman racers now, and then like me, Leah, JR, Sean, there's a handful of pro drivers that started 30 some years ago in a junior dragster. So I think it's really cool to see the progression of it.
Yeah, it's been very good. All
right,
right,
I need to double check on Sean though. I don't know if you've seen his hair recently, but I'm pretty sure he's older than junior dragsters, like by a lot. So
Sean, he's aged perfectly fine.
He has. He's gonna cuss me for that. I already know.
Hey, I'm just trying to stay in his good graces. All right, let's move into a little bit further down your career. Let's. What's your favorite race car? Obviously, you've been in pro stock and a little bit in super gas, and you had the juniors. But like, what's been your favorite car? And even if it's one specific year of pro stock, that's okay too. What's your favorite race car that you've had?
So my favorite race car is the car that I'm in right now. Last year, Jerry Don had it, and I had a brand new Rick Jones Camaro last year that I absolutely hated. We just never jived, and when Jerry Don quit, I said, I'm taking my car back. But we won 4 championships with that car. I'm just really comfortable in it. It's broken. The steering's loose. The pedals are the way I like them. It's not stiff and crazy. So that's probably my favorite one over the years. We kept our 2014, our first world championship. We kept that car, and that's in Richard's will. I'm getting that thing when he croaks.
All right.
So.
Well, that's good. Well, there we go. That's a good way to be.
Yeah.
We're going to talk. I want to talk about the losses and the struggles, so I'll get to that. But do you have a favorite story from your early pro stock years? Obviously, my favorite story is that you were sponsored by Stackers, and I don't know why that was a sponsor at NHRA, but I thought it was so cool back then. Do you have like a story, like a favorite, before you got into obviously the winning, right? I mean, the winning, look, let's be realistic. Winning changes everything, right? Makes everything better.
Yeah.
It is what it is. Do you have a story from before that you like to tell, or that you remember the most or fondly from your early years in pro stock?
I mean, it's a stupid story. It's the first one that comes to mind when you ask me that question. But I was 19 years old when I got my pro stock ride with Victor Cagnazzi, and we were at our first national event in Pomona in 2005. And I remember pulling around the corner, and like, just my heart was pounding, right? You see all these people and the TV cameras and whatever. And so we make the run, whatever. We pull off the track, and the guy comes over with the cup. Well, my crew guys told me that I had to pee in the cup. And I'm like, what?
Yeah, drug test on the starting line. Let's go.
It's like a blonde moment, I guess. So I'm like, well, where's the porta potty? They're like, nope, you gotta pop a squat behind the trailer. I'm like, you have got to be kidding me. So thank God one of the tech guys stopped me as I was rounding the corner. But
can you imagine if I did that and Travis just comes out, Tyler? Travis just comes, he's like, what are you doing? Like, I was confused. There was a cup here. I don't know. That would have been good. That's a pretty good one. So your first, that's pretty wild. Hit you with a drug test.
But as a 19-year-old girl, I'm like, I'm just listening to what they're telling me to do. Like, what a dumbass. But yeah, and the guys were pretty rough on me at the beginning. It was kind of like the good old boys country club with a bunch of middle-aged men, and it took a lot of years to earn a little bit of their respect. But it was definitely interesting.
Do you hold on to that?
Cars then too, wasn't there? Like qualifying. I mean, that was the end.
There was like what 20 some odd cars back then, right? No 5. Yeah. There was still a lot of cars, right, Tyler?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think thought so.
Do you hold on to that a little bit, the respect thing? Do you think you deal with that now still? Like you're like, obviously 6 championships later, right? It's whatever. But do you think that you harness that a little? You're just like, I'm still working at it a little?
I definitely feel like it's a work in progress. Like I think that we collectively as a group are really good at what we do, and it's full of peaks and valleys, and there are way more valleys than peaks, and it's about how you get through those to crawl your way back to the top. But it's a super humbling position to be in. But I do hold on to it a little bit. Not in like a way that like pisses you off. It's just kind of like you remember what you had to go through to get to where you are, because you just see kind of like the tip of the iceberg at the races or whatever you see on TV. Nobody really knows what goes on behind the scenes and the hard work and the sacrifice and all of that stuff. But they were pretty brutal for a really long time. And I think that you kind of, as a female, and I'm no feminist by any means, don't get me wrong, but like you kind of have to dig yourself back to ground zero before you start proving yourself.
Sure.
So it was a tough road to hoe, and the guys were like, they were pretty brutal. But I've gained a lot of, a handful of friends and a lot more enemies.
I like that she said a lot into a handful. She's like, I've gained a lot. You know what? I have a handful of people that I can stand to be around for more than 24 hours. Shout out to Chase Freeman, who has also joined us, part of the crew. Chase, maybe you should be working on some shit so we could qualify a little bit better, bud.
Listen, he has done so good. He is so stressed out. I think he has all his hair has turned gray.
Oh,
and
man.
Yeah, bless his heart. But he's doing a fantastic job, and I couldn't do it without him. He's on my radio now since Mark's been gone, and we definitely have a lot of fun together. He's a good dude.
I love that. Tyler, I'll let you ask a few here.
Buddy, I was letting you just.
Oh, you want me to keep? I'll keep steering.
Yeah,
okay,
keep going.
Right.
But I'm just listening.
I think as we talk about, and I asked about the respecting because I think it's a big a piece of why I wanted to talk to you specifically, right? Because I think that one of the things me and Tyler talk about, and I hold on to losses for like the moment that it's happening, right? In the moment, and like in my in car, I'm like. But then by the time I'm at the trailer, I'm still kind of like MFing myself, and I think about that. I still have a lot of memorable losses. Do you have one that like has stuck with you? Obviously, I can think of one, and we don't have to talk about that. But like, do you have a loss from your career that sticks with you, or that you think about to like recalibrate? Because sometimes I like have to recalibrate and be like, you know what, I did lose there, but like I've lost a lot of worse ways. So like, you know what I mean? Do you have any of those that stick with you? Or that
I have a handful of them. So the first one is 2011 Bristol. It was the first time I got back into a competitive car after my stint with Jim Cunningham in the Mustang. And, we went through a lot of years where we didn't qualify, and it was just a struggle, but I wanted to keep my name and face out there. I wanted the seat time. I wanted to get better and learn and whatever. Anyway, so I'm back in a competitive car at Cagnazzi's, and I had Mike Edwards in the finals, and I crushed him on the tree. It was like 100 something. I was 20 or better, and we had a transmission failure. And I remember coming back to the trailer after that race and after that final round, and I just like laid in the floor, and I was just like, I was devastated because it is so hard to get there and then to execute and win one. And that would have obviously been our first. That loss was like pretty brutal. That's the most probably gut-wrenching one that I can remember. as of late. But then went in Gainesville a couple years ago, I had Bo Butner round 1, and I joke with him. I said, would you close your eyes and let go of the clutch? He's 002, and I was late. And we set the world record and did not turn the beacon on. So that was pretty brutal.
Okay, that's a tough one. Hey, we'd love to show you this world record, but here's your losing time slip.
You also lost. Yeah, my guys are like excited. Jake, my engine builder on the radio, he builds the motors, so he's stoked, right? We just set the new world record, and he's like, yeah, but you lost. So,
hey, man, great run. You did a great job. Could you pilot into the wall after this as well? Thank you, because you did just lose. That's a tough one.
And then the craziest final was probably Aaron Stanfield and I in Bristol a couple of years ago, and he shook, and then my motor let go like 3rd gear, and that's that big smoke show or whatever, and I couldn't see, I couldn't breathe, and I was like, I ain't hitting the freaking brakes, because last time I checked, like I knew it nosed over, but in the finals, like I was gonna leg it anyways, and I looked over and he's not there, and I'm like, just don't touch the brakes and stay in the center of the track, and we both ran like 8 seconds or something.
Throttle position sensor wide open for 1,320 foot.
No,
motor RPM shut off 8 seconds ago.
It definitely shut off.
Okay,
those are crazy losses, but
that's fair. Yeah, like I said, I think we talk. I think from a loss perspective, one thing I take from Luke's stuff all the time, like this is Rack Racing Elite stuff, is like, how do you deal with the losses and like continue? And then like right now, I am in as bad a shape as it's been in super stock.
I done told you. You've got to, when you lose, you have to precisely load up, throw your shit in the trailer, and drive until you think you can't drive no more, and then you drive another 12 hours, and that's your punishment. You're good to go again.
That sounds miserable. I don't know if I can do that.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if I did load my shit up immediately. I mean, I don't know what more you want from me. I drove it right in the trailer. Okay. One of the and I know we talked. So I did. This is obviously something that I made today. This is what I think we should share with everybody. This is double E Brady right here. And I think that I wanted to talk to you specifically because we brought this up a few weeks ago about commenting back to folks, right? Obviously, the biggest misconception of every race car driver is, oh, they've got money from somebody, all these things, right? And I think that it hangs over people and, like, they never get there. That's why I asked about the respect thing at the beginning. But what do you think the biggest misconception is of you from the fans' perspective right now? Not that you're facing, but just, like, what is something that you think is, like, you know, they perceive me as this, but it's actually this? What do you think is the biggest misconception of you from a fan's perspective?
Lord, there's probably a couple of them. I'm pretty serious all the time. I like when I'm at the track, I have a hat on and my sunglasses, and like I could walk right past you and not even see you. It's nothing against anybody, but I'm like so in my own head and whatever, and I have resting bitch face like all the time. So I think that's probably I'm super nice and I'm normal. And the other thing is like I'm not always in an elite polo and a ball cap. Like I'm pretty girly. Like I like my designer shoes and handbags and stuff like that. And but yeah, probably most that I'm, you know, a B word. And the other thing that like I'm just daddy's money and out here all I do is get on the PJ and show up and climb in my pro stock car. Like I do all the logistics for our team. There's 56 guys on the road full time. I book our hotels. I make sure everybody knows where they're going at all times. I mean, work on all the sponsorship stuff with Richard and our sponsor acquisitions guy. Like I'm busy all the time. And then at Elite, I help buy, sell trucks, trailers, motorhomes, race car operations. Like I'm all hands on deck. And then in between rounds, like I service my car with my guys, and then I'm up in the Chief Lounge, like helping with all the downloads and whatnot. So I'm pretty heavily involved. Like I don't just go sit up in my lounge and put my feet up in between runs. So those are a couple of things that are probably misconceived.
That's fair. Tyler, what's your biggest misconception about you from the fans?
Wait, I don't. Billy Carroll's a philosopher. First off, I've been wanting to get on that.
Shout out to Billy Carroll.
I couldn't even tell you.
You don't think
I have my own misconceptions about me. Okay, day to day, I'm 100% a different person.
That's fair. Okay, fair enough.
I'm trying to just figure it out.
Yeah.
I don't even know.
That's fair. Okay, fair enough. I think.
What about you, PJ?
The biggest misconception about me.
Yeah.
The biggest.
I think I know more about you than I do about myself.
The biggest misconception about me is that I don't know.
That you're a Yankee asshole?
That's true. That's a true statement.
No,
My
it's
God.
really not.
I don't think I'm an asshole, but no, I think that's the reason I asked that specifically is I think we talked about them commenting on your stuff. Do you feel like, obviously you probably don't, you probably run your social sometimes, but like there's a team with all these teams and things like that. Do you feel like is there a validation that you get from commenting back to people or letting them know, like, let me set the record straight? And the reason I asked this is we talked about this is, for me, my biggest thing was always like, and I knew this coming from music in general, is like, I'm not for everybody. I learned that a long time ago. You're either going to love me or hate me. There's no in between, right? I don't even want there to be in between. I don't want to be like, he's okay. Love me or hate me. So I think for me, I never played into it. I used to just like add fuel to the fire. I would be like, oh man, I heard they were talking. So I would tell whoever was talking about me, I would tell someone in that circle, be like, man, I heard they were saying my name again. Must be weird talking about me all the time. It's got to be uncomfortable knowing your kids love my music. That's got to be tough. You got to ride to the racetrack every day, having your kids listen to my music. That's got to be tough. Knowing I'm your kid's hero. I get it. I get why you're mad. So I would just like egg it on. Do you feel valid? Like, is there a little bit of validation for you to set that record straight? Because I see that with like a lot of other channels too, like not just you guys, but like other athletes, right, in different sports that like to set that record straight. Do you feel, is that why you guys do it from an elite perspective, to like make sure that, hey, this is the real shit, not y'all can say what you want, but this is actually what it is? Is that why you guys feel that way?
The longer I've done this and the more I've learned and the older I've gotten, like the less tolerance I have for ignorance. And my sister and my PR team and Richard and my dad, everybody's like, just ignore them. Like, but sometimes, I can't do it. I just can't do it. So I clap back and, for the most part, look, I know these guys are sitting in their mom's basement on a beanbag chair eating Cheetos, and they're typing about me doing something that they will never, ever, ever have the opportunity to do. Yeah. And in that sense, I'm super blessed. But on the other side of things, like, what happened to like 5-year-old Bible school? Like, treat others the way you want to be treated. Like, I would never, ever say something to someone I didn't know that was so daggum ugly like they do. So the other day I just had enough. I DNQ'd and I've been hearing this and hearing that and whatever. And so I just copied it. I had somebody make a graphic for me because, I can't even download Google Meet. So they made it for me and I put it on social media. And I'm like, I'm going to call these people out because it gives you a platform to talk shit with having zero consequence. Yeah. And I can't stand it. So if you can't say it to my face, don't say it at all. And that's kind of where I stand. But
that's fair.
Also, I get why people don't want me, like my sister and them don't want me to say anything. I'm supposed to be professional, and I'm very, very fortunate to work for Richard at Elite and have partners that allow me to be me. Like I don't have to tone it down. I don't have to not talk about politics if I don't want to. Like I can just be me. And so I'm fortunate in that aspect, but there's still a PC Erica too. And I
get that. I hope, my hope is that when you win your next race, that Stackers 2 comes back out and is like, look, we told y'all early on. Well, they just put like a whole page ad in National Dragster. Just like, we've been told y'all. Or Melling takes out like a 2-page thing and just like puts in all the comments that people made from Facebook. And then it's just you with the 6 rings. Look, Courtney, I'll send you this picture right now. I'll send you this picture. Every time someone says something, you just post a Tom Brady 6 rings, dog. For me, I would literally, I'm like the worst. Like I've said it in song. The stuff I think I say in songs a long time ago was always like, that's how I felt. I'll load you up if you need some help. You know what I mean?
You put some rough shit out there,
I would say some
dog.
real terrible things. But I think for you, we share that same sentiment where like sometimes it gets to be a lot. And I wondered, we kind of want to talk about that. Okay, let's talk about this season. Obviously, it's been tough. You guys are testing. But what's the conversation from if you don't mind me, like partnerships with the companies that you partner with? How did they ask you like, hey, what can we do to help you guys out? Is there like or are they harder on you? Like, hey, we need, like, if we're going to put our name on the door, we need you to qualify. Like, what's that like? What's it like for you right now this season?
Well, as far as partners go, again, we're really fortunate. I've been with the Melling brothers for a long time, and Mark and Matt both send like super encouraging messages. And Jason and Nikki at JHG, they're the same way. Like they obviously all of them want to win, and they're used to winning with Elite. If it's not me, it's Aaron Stanfield or Jake Coughlin or TJ. I mean, we've got a pretty great roster of drivers under our awning, and we in the past have parked it in the winner circle a lot, and it's been a lot of fun. So they stick with us through the bad times, but they're there to celebrate in the good times too. So the partnership thing is not like a whole lot of extra added stress, but at the same time, like you don't want them to get
for sure. Yeah. Okay.
But I mean, they know we're working at it. Like every single week since the Pro Superstar Shootout in Bradenton at the end of February, we have tested. And at the 12 years I've been in Elite Motorsports, we probably tested more this year than we have the all 12 years combined. So we definitely have some serious issues, and we're working the problem. So I don't know. I don't really know what else to say about it. It just
you know what I mean? Yeah, I'm sure, and you talk about it obviously on NHRA every week, right? They ask you the same questions. Bruno's down there, and Amanda are harassing you. She's like, "Hey, by the way, idiot, why are you not going faster?"
What they don't think about is you're putting more pressure on yourself than anybody else is putting pressure.
A lot, yeah.
See, I think that's where the comment thing comes back to. It's like these people, like. It's like, treat those how you want to be treated. I think those people think so less of themselves. Like they have such a low self-esteem. They're like, hey, we want someone to talk to us like that. So that's what I would just be like, oh, my bad. You're a loser. And, I hope your mom's basement doesn't flood.
I didn't realize how bad it had gotten.
Yeah.
Like I don't, when I watch stuff, I don't click on the comments. And then I saw what she posted. I'm like, damn, that's pretty rough. And so I started looking and I'm like, these people are out of their minds.
Well,
like
I
on
left
just random
really
shit.
Ugly ones off in case some kids were reading it, but people are terrible. They're really awful, and that's why I felt the need to clap back against my better judgment and the judgment of my PR team. But I don't love the situation that we're in either. I don't need somebody to tell me that my career's over or that I suck or I should go eat another cheeseburger, whatever the hell they're coming up with. Like, I don't care. I'll compare resumes, bank accounts, houses, whatever you want. Let's go, and I'll beat you at every.
What I tell you, Erica 2 Chains. That's what I'm saying. Bring it out. Let it drip. That's what. Look, I'm telling you. I say this all the time. Y'all better hope I don't get rich. Y'all gonna know about it. I promise you. Okay. Let them all know. That's a fair point. I think this year is obviously like, and we talk. I'm very close with TJ. I send him encouraging messages as much as I can about it. Obviously he's, he gets it too. And it's in that, oh, hold on here. Sorry about that. My camera's acting weird. Tyler, I'm going to go to a single shot of you so I can fix my thing here.
Oh,
maybe. Oh, no, we're back. Sorry about that. I apologize, everyone. Like I said, I think, from the year, I think it's such a, it's such a tough situation. Right. And, I think you guys will be back. I do want to ask 2 questions about the team. Do you guys miss the Rick Jones and Ricky? Do you miss? Do you feel like that at all has played into your guys's whatever the struggles in the last few years?
I mean, they definitely brought a lot to the table, and we're the only pro stock operation out there that runs Rick Jones cars. I think it's the Bentley of pro stock cars. I'll say that till the day I die. I've driven them all, and they're super nice. But having Rick and Ricky on the road was great. Ricky was balls to the wall, and Rick was more conservative, so they were a great balance for each other. But Mark Ingersoll's been on board with us since 15.
Yeah.
So he's been there for all but one championship, and when Rick and Ricky decided to stay home, like Mark took the reins, and not only was Mark the crew chief on my car, he's the crew chief on all the cars under our banner, with the help of Tim Freeman and Chase and. Our tuners, Anthony Lum and Jake Hairston and Kyle Bates. And I mean, like the roster of people that we have, we didn't wake up stupid.
No, yeah, for sure.
But Mark is, for lack of a better word to describe him, he's badass. He is he's the king of pro stock. And his dad was Buddy Ingersoll. So he grew up racing, and we say he's so old, he invented the shift light as a joke. But he has a ton on his plate, and especially with the health issues that he's gone through, and he made his first appearance at the track since his surgery this past weekend at Charlotte. And, I think once he can get back full time and get his arms wrapped around everything, that's a long answer to your question. Sorry. Yeah,
No,
we
that's
missed
100%. No,
Mark,
it's
but
good.
Mark is like
Yeah.
a homer. Like, he is awesome.
I will say, if I was Mark and I would have just been like, hey, I know you didn't qualify last weekend. I wasn't here, but I'm back now, and look at what we did. We qualified, so you're welcome. Yeah, shout out to
I know, but then Aaron Stanfield and the Quadras, they didn't qualify. Like, we're facing an uphill battle right now.
Hey, that's the other thing too is it's a weird. Me and Tyler talked about this last week about the parity and how it's gone this wave of like, it was Greg and Jason for a long time, right? After Warren and Kurt, it was and Jeggy, then it was Jason and Greg, and then it was you guys, and like these waves of things that have come, and right now we're in a wave of seeing obviously the KB Titan team right now is running roughshod over everybody, but I do believe with the amount of with the parity that the you guys will get it figured out. Not just saying that. I've told TJ the same thing. I'm like, I have the utmost faith that you guys turn it around. Obviously, I know there's no one more dedicated to that. All right,
but
go ahead.
like, I mean, PJ seems really worried about this year. Was it a full 10th when y'all went to EFI? Like the first year, was it a full 10th at one point? Like when it started, that they were better. It might not have been a full 10th, but like for a few races, I know it was just like it was rough. One of them. Yeah.
They definitely had the upper hand on us after the switch. And I want to preface that by saying we also made a manufacturer change too. We went from Chevy to Dodge, and that was like, and nothing against Dodge and Mopar, whatever, but it was the most brutal year of our pro stock lives. And like, we couldn't get parts. The crap would not run if it fell out of a tree. I mean, it was awful. So I don't think it was like a total showing of our capabilities with EFI.
Yeah.
And then the year after that, like, it was a 2-year deal, and they opted out and we opted out. So 17 was kind of like rebuilding our Chevy program, and only won one race that year, and just kind of crawled our way back up until we won the championship again in 19 and 20. So but they did have the upper hand with the EFI stuff, and they obviously have the upper hand with this new fuel change. And it is what it is, but as you mentioned, like the pendulum swings in two directions, and right now it's on the KB side, but you stay the course, you work hard, you surround yourself with good people, it's coming back. You just got to be there.
For sure. What's the biggest misconception about Richard?
Oh, Lord.
Chase, feel free to chime in now too as well if you'd like to.
The comment section's gonna go wild. No, he's got a really rough exterior. He has a big heart. He wants to help people. He's a really good person to his core. I always joke, like, his mom named him Richard. She didn't even know him for 5 seconds, and his name was already Dick. Like, everybody thinks he is that until they get to know him. And he doesn't hold back. He does not bite his tongue. The F word is every other word out of his mouth.
I knew me and him would get along. I love it.
He does not change in front of his mother, his daughter. It does not matter. I'll say, listen, the partners that we're fixing to go meet with, they're pretty heavy duty Christian. Like, if you could tone it back, and he says, well, F no. So he ain't changing.
Hey, could you maybe not say the F word? The fuck I can. We'll see.
Exactly. Exactly. He's a hot mess, but I will say I've never been around somebody with more work ethic than him. Like in the mornings, I'm not a super duper great morning person, but when I get up, like, I need like, to warm up a little bit. Like, let's just idle for a minute. Like, he goes straight to the high side.
Same.
Like, as soon as
I'm on the chip. Me and Rich, this guy's gonna be my best. I'm meeting Richard at the next one. I'm on the chip.
He is wide open from the time he opens his eyes till he closes them, and big risk, big rewards. Like, he works his ass off. So I don't know what people think of him, but I will tell you that you cannot take that from him.
I love that. At the last couple pieces here, well, then we'll wrap it up. The new Team Elite thing that you guys have done this year, partnering with some sportsman racers. Whose idea was it, and what's your guys' goal with that?
Well, it kind of stemmed from us seeing, like, right trailers on the side of everything. And so Vincent Nobile has been part of our program. He drove pro stock here.
Yeah.
His wife and his wife's sister, like, they had Wright trailers on their car, and Richard says, what's it take for you to take that shit off your car and put Elite on there? And so it started with that, right? And then we kind of just started picking and choosing, like, obviously our customers, but some of our favorite sportsman racers or whatnot, and putting them on the Elite program. And it's basically like, I mean, we sell really nice stuff. We don't sell junk. And these guys are going to give us leads to sell, and we'll pay them commission on the sales, but we also help them with their sportsman programs. And
very cool.
So it's kind of just one of those deals, and kind of making Elite more known out there.
We love that. I think I mean, anything for the sportsman racers, for us especially. I mean, me and Tyler can attest to that. It goes a long way, and we're seeing a lot of people outside of the box. That since Billy's here, the Edelbrock group, thinking outside of the box. Just doing different stuff to support, because I don't know that NHRA is going to help us as sportsman racers. So it's great to see that you guys are trying to do different stuff. And that's not a knock on NHRA. It just right, you know, it is what it is. But I truly believe that. All right, Tyler, you got any questions you want to ask me?
I don't think so. That's why I was letting you take this one.
All right. Well, is there anybody else you want to thank, or anybody you want to talk about, Erica, that we didn't talk about today? Is there anything you want to ask us?
Do you ever play that song you wrote for us?
Yeah, man.
Look,
I play the hits, baby. let it be known. If only it got signed and it was in a movie, and you know everything would have popped off. But I listen to all. Look, man, I'm not gonna sit here and tell people I don't listen to my music. These artists that are like, I don't listen to music. I don't listen. Get the fuck out of here. I'm riding down the road. I be sending Tyler stuff like, damn, I was really on one, wasn't I? I don't even be caring. I just do not care. Yeah, man, it was a really cool. Like I've mentioned at the beginning, man. Erica and Courtney and the whole team and super supported me. Gave me the opportunity to write something for them, which was really cool. To include just like just stats from like a year that was like really crazy. And that was what, your second championship, your second world championship in 15. I think like it's such a cool thing to look back and think about all that, to have my impact, like I said, on the racing community, and for people to hear. It's really cool.
Well, it's not in a movie theater movie, but we put it on the soundtrack for our Racing in Red documentary deal.
What a hammer of a title. If you guys haven't heard it, it's out there. You can search PJ North. It's available. It's out there. Now that you say that, the last question I do want to ask. What is more important to you, being the winningest women's driver, or just being known as, like, or I shouldn't say not which is more important, but like, how do you feel about winningest women's driver? Obviously, you just passed Angel last year. Or being like one of the winningest drivers of all time in pro stock. Like, obviously, both are huge things, right? It's not, you have 48 pro stock wins, not to mention another one in super gas that makes 49. Like, a lot of things, but like, is it as important for you to be known? Obviously, I know you mentioned not the feminist thing, but like, is it still important to you to be known as like the winningest female driver in NHRA history right now?
Well, I mean, of course it is. I'm a female, and you play the cards that you're dealt. I always have just said I want to be the best driver, period. I don't, gender plays no role in what we do.
Agreed.
So mostly just like one of the winningest drivers, and I think we're like top 5 for all-time championships right now. So that's, if we can get number 7 ever, it would be cool to join people like Jimmy Johnson and Tom Brady, and
I'll just add your face to Tom Brady and Jimmy Johnson next.
Well, Force has 16, Glidden has 10, Tony Schumacher has 8. So if we can get 7, we'd be 4th all time. Right now I'm tied at 6 with my homie Greg Anderson. So it's super important to me to just strive to be the best there is. But I will tell you that it was cool when because as a kid, I had the Angel shirt, right? Like she was the girl drivers. I always liked the girl drivers, and I always thought like, man, I don't know, I'm not racing long enough to pass her. And when we did, and then became the winningest woman in any form of motorsports, like that kind of tagline, that was pretty cool. So
I just think it's a huge thing.
Both ways, but of all time would be the greatest.
Yeah, I think it's just it's just really cool to see. When I looked up the stats, it's like Angel had 46, and I was like, holy, that is so many, to like the difference between her and Shirley Muldowney, and like that's the next. I mean, that gap was was really large. So I thought that was
I
really
remember
cool.
when we passed Shirley, or when we tied Shirley. She has 18, and we did it when we won our first U.S. Nationals in 2015. I'll never forget that. So that was cool
That's
to
cool.
join.
Yeah, see, that's a great, like, I just think, like, those things are obviously super important for the sport.
Yeah.
A lot of those things. All right, you get to ask another question. Do you have any other questions for us?
For y'all?
Yeah. Anything you want to
Tyler,
know?
where's Megan? I love
She
her.
actually is at dinner because she doesn't wait for me, and she actually
do not let
just
him sit here
texted
and
me.
lie right now.
She does no. She goes to bed early, right? Like
Oh, yeah,
on
because she does
Tuesdays,
have to
we
get up
always
at
do
like
it.
2 a.m. in the morning.
Yeah,
for work.
like 2:30. She
That girl
texted me
loves
when
her
you were
some
talking
Tyler.
about.
You are very lucky.
I am. It was funny when we were talking about Brie Larson earlier. She texted me like 74 letters is what it took her to spell it because she knows that that's like my favorite. She's killing me over here.
Yeah, she's Megan's a good one.
Are y'all going to any nationals? Do you have anything on your schedule coming up?
I'm gonna go to a points race at Maple Grove, and then Indy is like all that I've actually got scheduled. But
Okay.
I like my job. I really do. I like running the racetrack.
That's cool.
Yeah, I can't. Thank God we got guys like Tyler to run a racetrack because there's
For
just not a
sure.
lot of people out there that want to do that. I'm not running any nationals yet, but obviously I make spur of the moment decisions all the time.
Well,
so
we can only go up from here.
hey, look, right now I've got 90 points and I've been to 3 races. Okay, so yeah,
Me too.
not looking. Yeah, it is not looking good. They are they might be like, hey, maybe you should stay home. Like, think about this one. So
I went to 3 races. Y'all have got to pass me at least. I have not raced.
I don't know if I'm going to make it to another. We'll see. I don't know. There'll be another divisional. I say that, and then I'll be out there, But we're bracket racing now. We're in bracket racing mode this weekend, so we're
I had fun when we brought some of the comp cars to y'all's Twin 50 deal in St. Louis, and that was a fun time. I wish we had more time to do stuff like that. Richard just bought a super stock Cobalt from Jay Story, and it's sitting back in the shop. And I'm like, I know all he's focused on right now is pro stock and kind of getting out of this rut. But I'm like, can I take that thing down to the Dallas Double and like we can go run fast in it and have a for sale sign on it? Like I don't.
Yeah. Dude, you know how much fun it is to be like, hey, by the way, we couldn't go number 1 in pro stock. That's okay. Our number 1 super stock qualifier.
Yeah.
Just go to the top.
Sure.
Come on, Richard.
And that's like that car is badass too.
Yeah, Jay Stories is sick.
A nice
It
car
was
with some Patterson Elite power, so it's not slow. So
yeah, man, that's what I
It can
really
be
need.
fun.
How do we get that Patterson Elite 283? That's what I need, Tyler.
That's
Could you imagine me going 11-15 and with the 283? Patterson Elite on this. I'll paint that some bitch black and red right now, by God. You ain't got to tell
Hell
me
yeah.
twice. Well, thank you so much, Erica, for joining us. It's been a pleasure. Obviously, we've been friends now over 10 years. Been friends.
Isn't that crazy?
It's crazy to think about. I'm getting old. Tyler has mentioned it to me multiple times. So
I mean, I'm not like that far behind, but you getting there, dog.
I'm aging with grace, my friend. But thank you again, and shout out to the whole team at Elite because they've been super supportive of the pod, man. TJ, Jeggy, now Erica. Maybe we'll get all the quadras on, and we'll just have we'll do like a segment where we all get boots. I think that would be
I
fun.
want Chase.
They would love to come on, but all our drivers, Jag, TJ, Aaron, Greg Stanfield. Now, we're all bracket racers. So
we want to. We do want to hear some Greg Stanfield stories. So I'm interested. Maybe we'll get him and Aaron on here to tell us some father-son stories, and we'll hear some Greg super stock stories from back in the day.
Heck yeah, they're both badass for sure.
Excellent. Well, thank you guys for joining us here at the BE00TAKE00 show. This is episode number 13. We made it. Next week, we're going to do it all again as we head to the Twin 50s at St. Louis. Me and Tyler will preview that race. So join us. And don't forget to hit that like and subscribe button. For PJ